Thank you so much, iMedia. And this is the most exciting time slot that I've gotten. I hope you guys have had good lunch. I have 10 minutes, so I will try not to bore you guys. Hopefully every minute should be useful. But before we start, right, whenever I'm on the stage and I'm up for pitch, I feel like, should I say this or not? I feel like, Aajo boss, sab dikha dunga, right? Those who have not seen this, just go and watch the reel. So I don't do that. It's not a pitch. Yes, in a sense, it is. But it's more of a learning for the marketers in terms of we rely on platform data so much that we tend to ignore that we are marketer and we need to control our spends, we need to control our strategy, and we need to take control of our data and need to use tech available at our disposal to kind of enable the teams to make better use of it, right? And that's what I'm going to speak about, which is the need for social ad verification. Agenda just spoke with pointers. What are the consumer trends when it comes to social media landscape? Why independent measurement tools are needed? What does it do for the business? How do we solve for the business needs? And the summary. Yeah. Quickly, we know how fragmented today's social media is, right? There are umpteen platforms. Every platform is popping up every other day. Just some numbers, probably they will change in the next 5 minutes. But 500 hours of video content is getting uploaded on YouTube every minute, right? 1.8 billion websites available online. 500,000 tweets happening per minute. That's a massive, massive amount of content being generated and distributed at the same time. 68% of the consumers feel that they're really concerned about glorification of the data and misinformation or disinformation, right? Which is getting even worse. And we know how socio-political situation is, not only in India, but globally, right? There is no north and south, right? Everybody is kind of talking everything and we don't know whom to trust, whom not to trust, yeah? 46% of the consumers are exposed to mis and disinformation on social media sites, right? And it happens with some of the credible sources also, because everybody is in need to share the information. They are in hurry to share the information and they do that without validating it even for a minute and not realizing the repercussions of it. Yeah? So then, what does independent measurement does, right? 3 things. First, the situation is we have high and volatile content. B, there is data restriction when it comes to platforms. You don't get as much data. It's walled garden, as we say. And unique creatives and placements, right? Every platform has their own ad format, their own inventory, and their own way to measure the success of that inventory, right? So how do I unify this? And these are the challenges that we face across all these social platforms, which is always on measurement and reporting needs, right? I cannot run a measurement on a set of campaign and can't do it on other set of campaign, because your inventory is changing with every single impression that you buy. Yeah? So you need to do it across. Everything is manual, right? How do I automate this? If I need to automate, I need resources, I need tools, I need people to do that. And inconsistencies, as I was saying, right? 100 ad formats, 100 ad inventories, 100 definitions of success. So how that inconsistency I can remove out of my strategy and bring everything together so that I can end up doing apple-to-apple comparison for the money that I'm spending on digital media. Yeah? And this is how the business needs come into place and how do we solve for it, right? So 3 major buckets. One is brand equity. Very, very important and perhaps tend to be not a priority in long run, but very, very important, right? So protect your brands across your social media campaigns. And we saw the amount of data that's getting generated, the amount of content that's getting generated. How do we kind of control that? Media waste, we all know, is the fraud. Everybody's talking about the fraud, the viewability, the unsuitable placements, the placements happening in the right geo or not, right? All these forms media waste. It's not only fraud, right? There are multiple elements which form a media waste. And the measurement, which is most important. If I take care of brand equity, if I take care of media waste, how do I measure? How do I report? And how do I learn from this? That's the measurement angle. So this is a pitch slide. So how do we as DB solve for this? So from fraud SIVD perspective, we support all social media platforms. There is direct server-to-server integration. So no need for tagging, tracking, etc. Brand safety and suitability, again, across all platforms. Ignore TikTok here. If at all they come in, we still work with them. So you have YouTube, you have Facebook, you have Twitter, Insta, every single platform is protected by the tool now. And viewability, which is extremely important. We know the spends on videos, which are increasing day by day. We are spending money to produce videos, we are spending money to distribute videos, but is only VTR my metrics, right? Or is the number of views only my metrics? Are we looking at viewability? Are we looking at evoke rate? Are we looking at completion rate, right? So all these parameters needs to be considered very seriously and use that data to measure viewability. From brand suitability perspective, right, there are three things that each brand needs to look into when they are advertising on social media platforms. One is combination of professionally produced content versus amateur content or non-professional content, right? UGC is massive, right? Every single individual is an influencer now. And we know government is taking strict actions on these influencers because if you don't have credibility, you cannot become an influencer. But with the tools that they have in hand, everybody today can talk about fitness, can talk about finance, can talk about travel, right? I am a subject matter expert. If I have 200 followers, I become an influencer, right? So how do I define who is an influencer which is credible enough versus non-credible influencer? Both factually correct content and misinformation or fake news, right? Facts can be given, but not necessarily facts can be correct, right? So fake news runs really deep globally nowadays. And mixture of narratives, conversations, and POVs, right? That's very important. A POV not necessarily be bad, but can be against what we think of. Doesn't mean that it's a misinformation or a bad POV, right? So we need to take a cognizance of the thoughts behind the article and not really whether it supports my ideology or not. Yeah. So very complex scenario when it comes to social content, and the tool needs to be mature enough, intelligent enough to make distinction between that content and categorize content in a manner that it doesn't harm the brand. Lost 2 minutes. From media-based perspective, just one slide that I have. So what typically happens is you end up measuring your campaigns, right, from media wastage perspective. But what if you can literally stop the media waste before you run the campaign or before you buy the impression? So now you have pre-campaign controls available at your hand, right, where you select the media which is brand safe, which is viewable, which is fraud-free, and then run campaign only on that media, right? So you can literally now avoid bidding on the impressions that are compromised impressions, right? Just buy the quality impressions and pay for the quality impressions, as simple as that. And then of course it comes with post-campaign measurement, which kind of gives you all the insights that you can leverage to optimize your campaigns going forward on a rolling basis. And then extremely important, which is measurement and taking control of data in your hand. And how do you do that? By having a platform which can compare all your media spends in single window with singular definition for your KPIs, right? I'm not dependent on any platform to tell me what the definition of success for you, your campaign should be. I'm going to decide that as a brand, right? That should be the fundamental starting point when you set up the KPIs. So you can have literally any social media platform available in front of you on the reporting dashboard. Measure them across all the success parameters with singular definition and take a call, do apple-to-apple comparison, whether I should spend on X platform or Y platform, depending on how it's yielding results for you. So in summary, what advertisers really value: consistency across campaign reporting, yeah, automated, always on reporting from reporting perspective and measurement perspective, and granular and helpful insights for myself for my campaign optimization as I start increasing the spends on digital media, right? And that's how, in summary, three things that one needs to really take care of when it comes to social media ad verification. One is protecting the brand in terms of brand equity on social media. Media waste, understand the media waste across social media platforms in terms of fraud or non-viewable impressions or non-intended geographical delivery of the campaigns. Of course, unsuitable placements. And third is measurement. Just measure your campaigns with one single unified platform and use that data to further optimize your spends and be fair with the platform that's delivering better results for you and of course will result in better business for you. Thank you so much. My time is up.